My name is Robert Crawford. I'm aged 79 years, and I live in supported housing, which is Rankin House, Corby, Studford Avenue. I was born at the outbreak of war, and there was real austerity then because food was rationed, sweets were rationed, and bombs were dropping. But we did have a good time because we lived in Corby. And Corby was surrounded by woodland, so we spent most of the time in the woods. I had 4 brothers. One died at 3 months of age. But my family was a very close family. Oh, when we were younger, we used to get used to. You see, we had this the Odeon cinema near us, so Saturday morning used to have a special picture show for. So I remember that because they used to sing a song before we left. We'd come along on Saturday morning, greeting everybody with a smile. We'd come along on Saturday morning, knowing that it's well worthwhile. As members of the Odeon Club, we all intend to be good citizens when we grow up and champions of the free. And then we'd do a runner. And if Flash Gordon was on, one of us would be Ming the Merciless, another would Flash, we'd be up the West, going da 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 da. It stimulated the imagination, I think. When I left school, everybody started working Stewart's and Lloyd's. There used to be a steelworks here. We realised there was a steelworks in quarries, iron ore quarries, all round Corby. And these iron ore quarries, although they were part of the steelworks, they were registered as a separate company in South Africa to avoid them being nationalised by the Labour government in 1940 something. But there was the director of this company, in conjunction with Sitting Guilds, he started a managerial course. So I was chosen to go on that. So I went on this course. It was quite good because we used to have, initially we could have day release, that is once a week we went to Kettering Tech. And it was quite funny because every week somebody'd come along and give us our wages in the morning. Well, we'd end up in the George Hotel, Kettering, in dinner time until the day we were coming out, and the principal of the college was coming in. And he said, "You're supposed to be at school. Never let me catch you in here again." So he didn't. We moved to a pub. I'm a saxophone player, and when I was growing up, there was only a handful of female saxophone players. Like the most famous one was a woman called Betty Smith. She was the only jazz tenor saxophone player, female, in Britain. But there were other saxophone players, but there was, because Ivy Benson had an all-female band. But nowadays, people come to me, young women come to me, wanting to learn to play the saxophone, which was unheard of when I was growing up. I got a job with this band in the top rank in Liverpool, and the band leader's name was Clive Cant. And he phoned me up and told me to get there at 2 o'clock and he'd buy me some lunch. So I got there at 2 o'clock and he took me to the local McDonald's. Then one night he shouted at the band, "Somebody's playing out of tune," and the drummer said, "Who told you?" But I won't go into details about me and Rosie, the vocalist. No, it gets censored. Well, you see, there was this. I was touring Germany, and this female vocalist flew in from Scunthorpe, of all places. And she was a really stunningly good-looking young lady. And I didn't realise that she'd taken a fancy at me. I think she'd fallen in love with me, which questioned her intelligence, didn't it? But it didn't come to nothing. But my big love was when I was in doing my college in Grantham. At that time, there used to be a training camp for WAFs called Spitalgate. And one night I was in this pub, and this WAF came in, and she looked like an Italian film star. She really looked lovely. And I was standing all on my own, and she said, "What's wrong? You don't look happy." I said, "Well, I don't like this view." She said, "I don't." She said, "I like Duke Ellington." I said, "Well, you must like Paul Gonsalves." She said, "Yes." I said, "Well, I play saxophone like him." So I took her home to the camp. And I'll never forget this. This is hilarious, this was. The taxi driver pulled into this lay-by, leaned over and said, "That's the field you use." So she dragged me over to this field, and I couldn't see the field for WAFs and bodies all over the field. It was amazingly. But she lived in, where was it now? Let me think. She lived in, Lake District. What's a big town up in the Lake District? She lived in the Lake District, but I came home and she went back to the WAFs, and I've never seen her again. Well, I think I'm not at all a happy man, because I believe that we're walking off a cliff edge and we don't know where we're going to land. It's all right. It has its advantages and has its disadvantages. But on whole, I mean, it's pretty okay. Well, I have one regret, is that I never married Wrinkled Lil. Now, you might wonder why I call this woman Wrinkled Lil. It's because she married a bloke called Don McIntosh. She started drinking 3 bottles of vodka a day. Terrible, isn't it, eh? Oh, dear. I don't really know if there is an afterlife. I mean, when a dog dies, it dies, and that's it. And I believe that maybe humans are the same.